don't Christian groups need somebody to protest against? Isn't there a symbiotic relationship between whoever they're against, be it you or the gays or whatever, abortion clinics? Don't they need each other?
Or Kathy Lee Gifford, you know.
There's an old saying that the devil has always been the church's best friend because he's kept them in business. And I think, like you're saying, they've picked me to be that. But I think, I don't mind the protesting. I just wish that they would get the facts straight because they think that I do a lot of things. But I'm really about individuality, and that's really the bottom line.
I think you guys have it totally backward. You guys have it totally backward. You're saying that the church needs people like Marilyn and other people to stay in business when actually Marilyn wouldn't even exist.
Manson.
Well, Brian, if we really want to get real here, because that's his real name, that's what his mama named him. But the point is that his
do you call
album
him
is
Cassius
called
Clay, too?
Anti-Christ. But he would respond. But you know what? Even the name of his album, Anti-Christ Superstar. If there was no Christ, there would, Christ he needs Christ to stay in business. Because he's trying to push the envelope against home. And that's the whole point. I think that when people are talking about
Christ
they show
is
up,
really a metaphor there.
Yeah,
exactly.
but they show up at these concerts and they protest. I think it's a sad commentary when we have put it on the slate that only the Christian right thinks that there's something wrong here. I don't know.
Now, there are rumors about what you do, and then there's the reality of what you do. There are, for example, you do rip pages out of the Bible in your concert. You do wipe your ass with the American flag. Some of these things, you have to admit, are controversial.
Absolutely.
I mean,
they're designed to make people think, but the point with the Bible or flags is to say it's only as valid as you make it in your heart. A piece of paper.
It's all about perception, isn't it, Marilyn?
A piece of paper or a piece of cloth doesn't mean anything. It's what you believe. And I want people to think about what they believe. I want them to consider if everything they believe is what they want to believe or that's what they've been told that they have to believe.
I agree with that. In the sense, I do agree with that point in the sense that I have more respect, and some people, you hear me out when you hear this, so I have more respect for this young man than I have for the majority of people in this country. Because 86% of Americans claim to be Christian, Judeo-Christian, whatever else, and they're not. They're hypocrites. But the point is that when I see, it does draw a line in the standard. We need to realize we are in a cultural war, and everyone wants to straddle the fence. Either you are Antichrist or you are Christ. It's as simple as that. Either there are standards or they're not.
In us?
I don't. No, I don't. I don't wipe my rear end with the American flag. And I don't see that giving someone oral sex, giving somebody oral sex on stage. He wants to.
This show, I haven't seen that.
I got to take a break. We'll come back to this. Okay, some of us are old enough to remember what a rock band had to do in former days to upset parents. And it really wasn't very much, right? I mean, the Beatles, when they first came out, had long hair. It wasn't really much longer than yours, Gordon. I'm not kidding. It was not long hair, and they were apoplectic.
Talking about that and how people look and their, perception and the way people look at you and go, my God. But you know what? I look back, seriously, I look back at the early Brady Bunch days. I look like the Antichrist. That hair and the skirts and the platforms, right?
We over the course of time. Now, in 1956, when Elvis went on Ed Sullivan, they wouldn't show him below the waist.
Right,
Do you know this? I mean, this was history.
Yeah, I remember it.
Because that would upset, I guess, America. In 1967, Mick Jagger went on with the Rolling Stones. Ed Sullivan couldn't sing Spend the Night Together. He had to change it to Let's Spend Some Time Together. And I think along the way, if you put what the rock groups were prohibited from doing with what kids were doing, there is a difference. I mean, in 1956, when that was what pushed the envelope, the troubles in the school were chewing gum and patting up a skirt. Today, they're throwing babies out with the bathwater, literally. Now, isn't there a connection there?
Well, I think if